think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs?
Hello, and welcome to the Super Business Women Show. It's your girl, CEO Lexi, with all things couture. And that song you just heard was by the one and only CEO Lexi. It's called Do You Think of Me? And it's on all platforms. Listen to the remastered version, and salute to Angela Beats for that remaster. So we have a great show today. We have two guests, super excited. I'm here with my wonderful and beautiful co-hosts. They can introduce themselves.
Hey, great big world out there. It's your girl, the one and only Financial Film, Shavana. How you doing out there?
Hey, it's Sharon Locke. I'm trying to pull it together here. Happy Saturday, guys.
It's okay, Shar. Everybody's trying to pull it together. It's been like a long week.
It has. This is the longest week ever in life.
We're just in January, though.
No, this has been like the longest week in life. I think I'm still in shock that all this stuff happened during this week. And it was cold as I don't know what.
It depends on who you ask, because to me, the weather was great. I'm enjoying this. I am loving this. Yes,
I'm such a hibernation. I'm here, but I'm in my bed.
You look like you've been to the
I'm
islands,
in my bed.
There's something going on
It
with
is.
you.
You're already radiant, and it's just something about you. Like,
I'm going to tell you guys the truth. The truth is when I'm not feeling the best internally, I do my best to make sure I look the best externally.
Oh, so that's me too.
Yeah, so when I feel like really sleepy and low energy, and because of this weather is kicking my lupus butt, I'm like, I have to tune it up a notch.
And then you
So
got
it's not
happy-go-lucky
triplets.
here. You got homie over here talking about
triplets is insane.
Triplets. She's
In this
talking about.
economy?
Well, you know what? I don't know what's wrong with her, because she's talking about triplets. She's talking about alphabet baby showers, IRS baby showers.
see, I never said anything about the IRS doing a baby shower. See, she's putting words in my mouth. I never
You
said
said
anything.
alphabet. What
I
do we
said
call
an
the alphabet people?
baby. You call them the 3-letter people. That's
Yeah.
what you call them.
Yeah.
Notice
then you're
I
saying-
said nothing about them today. She said it.
It's
She
been
said
like
it.
150 below, and she's like, "Oh, it's beautiful
It's
outside.
beautiful to me.
I can,
So- but
I
and it
can wear a
depends on who-
bikini."
Well, not a bikini, but but no, I just like the cold weather. I embrace the cold weather. I actually get sad like when it's the summertime. Like I want to cry because of the heat.
And see, I love the heat.
No.
So I'm
Sign
not
me
a
up.
heat person. My favorite season is fall. You
Winter
can
and
dress.
fall for me.
Yeah, winter and fall, you can dress. It's just that when it gets extremely cold, it gets disrespectful, and I don't like to be disrespected.
Look, I'm just waiting on some more snow. I want to go out there and make angels, and
Jesus.
like
We
just
haven't
love
had
it.
enough snow for that.
I
at all.
know, and
I
I'm
think
waiting
it's
for
been
that.
years since we've had enough snow for that. I think when I look back at my pictures, but I rebuke all the plots against my uterus. It is vacant.
It's not triplets. I can get unexcited.
And no, ma'am. Triplets is crazy.
Darn, I was gonna get excited.
3 in 1. Eggs are $5 a dozen.
They're going down. They're going down.
This is crazy.
Everything's going down.
I don't even want to
When?
know how much diapers cost.
When?
or
Because I
anything
was
else.
at the grocery store the other day, and talk about feeling disrespected.
Well, we got some stuff going on. We got a new administration. Let's see what happens. Let's see what unfolds. Let's see.
Well, speaking of the cost of groceries, I do want to get into my events. As you guys know, there's a grocery giveaway every Monday at 5 p.m. at the Orchestration Institute, which is located at 4757 West Lake Street in Chicago. That is brought to you by Hojo Family Assistance Program and Divinely Orchestrated, and again, hosted by Ejila Beats of the Orchestration Institute. So go out there and get your free groceries, 5 p.m. every Monday, 4757 West Lake Street out there in Chicago. I have some other events to talk about too, guys, before I get into my segment. And also before I get into my segment, I do want to say we have some great guests. I hope you guys have been paying attention to the promo we've been pushing out there. We do have Alicia Empowers joining us soon, and we also have Victor Mason joining us. So we'll be dropping some gems today, guys, and
I'm super excited about that. Super excited.
Absolutely. So I do want to talk about another event. I just got the information on Friday, February 28th. Taco and the New Era Band will be performing live at his Dedicated to Mama concert. Taco is a phenomenal artist, entertainer. He has a full band behind him. He's probably one of the most entertaining independent artists that I've seen perform live. So he'll be having his show February 28th at Reggie's, which is located at 2105 South State Street in Chicago.
Oh,
And his tickets are available on his website, which is www.tacomusicofficial.com. And again, Friday, February 28th, doors open at 8 p.m. And I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. The next day, which is Saturday, the 1st of March, Taco will actually be joining us.
oh, nice. What kind of music?
Whoa.
He's hip hop rap,
Okay.
and he has a full live band behind him. So I really enjoy his shows. Like, he puts on a phenomenal performance every time. I've seen him quite a few times.
I'm gonna go home and make a demo tape, and I'm gonna bring it. I might get discovered. So
You know what
then
it's
Shar
gonna
won't
say?
have to talk about me talking about the three-letter people.
You know what it's going to say? I love the IRS. I love the IRS.
some
File your
house music.
taxes. Call me. Yeah, I love the IRS.
That's a nice beat. That's a
girls.
nice chorus.
Get out of
Get
here.
it. Get it.
Get out of here.
Monday nights at Bixby. I don't have the information in front of me for Bixby's. I'm not even gonna look. I thought I had it, but I don't have it, and it's somewhere in here. But Bixby Bar,
It's okay. It's been like a long week. We've already established
and
that.
I've been pushing this. It's on my story and it's on my page. But I know Monday nights at Bixby's and also Thursday nights at Bixby's. There's some dope events going out there. Mondays, the music is provided by Shy Blizz, the crown holder. So make sure y'all check out
Shy
Bixby
Blizz.
Bar.
What time is it? Oh, it's past. He was at Toki's today at
I
9051 South on Stony Island. So they do that once a month. I think it's, what's this, the third Saturday in the month? So they do it every third Saturday. So you guys, I'm normally there, but I have a little issue. That's why I have the glasses on.
Hashtag glasses. I'm all for glasses.
Yeah.
I left mine in the dashboard. I meant to grab them, but I actually stopped and grabbed some Thai food instead. So,
Hey,
I think we
priorities.
all need to wear our glasses at one time together as a whole.
You know, I actually am supposed to wear glasses, and it's really funny because I had a conversation about how stubborn I am, and it's just like when people think I need them, and it's like I need glasses and I don't wear them.
well, that's me. And the only reason why I'm wearing them today is for cosmetic reasons.
Well, they look great.
But they help me see. I can see better. You guys look great.
There's a
Hashtag glasses.
shout out to those glasses.
So Lexi, what do you have today? Because I look forward. You're so informational.
Today, I'm not really teaching anything. I'm preaching a little
Why?
bit here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about
Sermons are always good.
the differences between competition and comparison in the music and entertainment industry. And this is something that I've talked about quite for the years. And actually at our open door panel discussion, we had a great discussion between the independent artists about competition. And the thing is, and everyone is entitled to their opinion, but with competition, you're basically focusing on outdoing others, which often leads to innovation and improvement. So competition is not necessarily a bad thing. Most businesses are competitive. I think that's the purpose.
That's
You
fair.
know, we go to whatever businesses we go to because of whatever reason. So like if there's 4 gas stations on a corner, we're not necessarily going to go to each and every one of them. We're going to pick one that's our favorite. It's like our favorite stove burner. You know, there's something about that we got to keep going back. Like my favorite gas station has my favorite ice. They have my favorite water in stock all the time. They have my favorite snacks. So I'm going to go to that one over
I
a
pick
closer one.
gas stations that are aesthetically.
Clean bathrooms, clean,
just
smells
be-
good. The music's playing.
There's no riffraff. There's no garbage. The gas pumps are nice and new and bright, and everything is. It reminds me of like a department store.
Are you guys talking about Love's gas station?
No, I'm actually talking about Circle K. I like Circle K
I do
because they
too.
have the small little ice.
Oh, I
I
love
forgot what
that.
it's called. The little ice nuggets.
Yes,
I love that. So, and I don't care about the gas, but the gas prices could be $1 million. I don't pay it. I have to get gas anyway, so I don't really focus on that. But it's always clean, and they have the things I like.
So I
in
have a
there.
philosophy with gas. I don't look at it because I'm not going to get upset. I don't want to be irritated. I have to purchase it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Gotta get gas,
Got to get gas
or get a horse.
Public
Well,
transportation
let's
is
not
always
speak
nice.
about riding a horse.
Save that for later.
It's Saturday, right?
so,
Why not speak
so
about
anywho,
it?
the difference between competition and comparison and That's a good turn, didn't it? Yeehaw. So, yeah, competition definitely focuses on outdoing others, but I think competition is important to an extent. Comparison focuses on measuring oneself against others, which often leads to feelings of inadequacy and decreased motivation. So, I think that this is important when we talk about competition in music, is that you're not, when you have that feeling that somebody's competing with you, they might not necessarily be competing with you if it's a negative feeling towards it. They might actually be comparing themselves. And when you have somebody that's comparing themselves to you, it is more of a low vibrational, it's more negative, because they're more like, oh, I got to do what they're doing, I want to be like them, instead of competing and like being, oh, we're on the same level, how can they sharpen my iron?
Absolutely.
So my thing is, you can't compete where you don't compare. So do not set yourself up for failure as a independent artist, as in anybody in this entertainment industry. You have to think about things like record sales and streams, fans, organic followers, discography, their film that they might be in, sponsorships and deals that they have, their tenure, their time in the industry, and of course talent. So you're going to set yourself up for failure if you're comparing yourself to somebody that has all these other things. My main thing is focus on what you do, stay unique, and stay in your lane. It's always no traffic in your lane. So
That's good.
It's branding.
when it comes to competition, I look at it like this, and comparison. Collaboration over competition. And I want to talk about some pros with collaborating. There's increased creativity. Collaborating with others can bring new ideas and perspectives to the table. Improved quality. Working together can lead to a higher quality of a final product, because you might hear something, you might write a song. I might write a song and then I present it to Shavana and Char. They say, oh, you should add this, or this part, maybe you should just tweak it a little bit. It's always great to have, other feedback from fellow creatives. Networking opportunities. Collaborating with others in the industry can lead to valuable connections and future opportunities. I talk about this a lot. You guys need to be taking notes.
Actually, they need to take notes for life,
Yeah.
because everything you're saying transcends into other areas of life. I told my children that comparison is the devil.
Yeah.
It actually depletes who you are, stifles your self-esteem, growth, and it's low vibrational.
It's a low vibration. Y'all better understand. And when you vibrate low, you leave yourself susceptible to other energies taking over you and your mind. So it also, a pro of collaboration is reduce stress. Focusing on collaboration rather than competition can reduce stress and anxiety. The cons, however, of collaboration is sometimes you can have a loss of individuality. Collaborating with others can sometimes lead to a loss of individuality in your unique voice. It all depends on who you're working with. Conflicting opinions. So working with others can lead to creative differences due to conflicting opinions. I feel like as long as you're communicating effectively, you should be okay. Like you're adults. And unequal contributions. This is probably more of a con than any of them. Is collaborations can sometimes result in unequal contributions, which can lead to possible feelings of resentment, and that's an issue.
It is.
Okay, there we go. And dependence on others. This is a big one. So collaborating with others can possibly make you dependent on them for their input and their availability. So that is a concern in the music industry when you collaborate with somebody, is if they're available to be at the studio, if they're available for a performance. So those are some concerns, but of course, if you're a professional, you'll be able to get through that. So there are some examples of collaboration, songwriting collaborations. Many successful songs have been written through collaboration between artists and songwriters. Music producer collaborations. Music producers often collaborate with other producers, artists, and songwriters to create new and innovative sounds. Film and theater collaborations. Collaborations between directors, writers, actors, and other crew members are essential in the film and theater industries. So while competition can drive innovation and improvement, collaboration can lead to increased creativity, improved quality, and valuable networking opportunity. However, collaborations can result in a loss of individuality, conflicting opinions, and unequal contributions. Ultimately, finding a balance between competition and collaboration is key to success in the music and entertainment industry. And look, In a world of carbon copies, be couture.
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
That's one of my catchphrases.
So my catchphrase for this week has been adversity builds strength and character and fixes your vision.
That's true. That is
So
true.
what if you have all of that and your vision is still bad?
After the adversity I went through this week, you can't have bad vision. It fixes it. It forces you to fix it.
Yeah, I think you gotta push through no matter what, because you're always gonna have things that's gonna pop up and throw you off.
Most certainly, you got to get ready for what's coming next. Like, we're going to get past this because something else is coming. So you just got to always be ready.
So I think we're taking a break, right? That's what's coming next.
Before we do, I do want to say salute to everyone that is checking in on my live. And if you guys do want to watch us live, you can also head over to YouTube and search Intellectual Radio and click that live tab. Also, you can listen to us at www.intellectualradio.com. And I do want to let you know that we have a call-in line, which is 708-223-8953. We are going to take a quick music break before we get into our next segment. And I do definitely want to thank you for tuning into the Super Business Women Show here on Intellectual Radio. We'll be right back.
Come on.
Don't go nowhere, y'all.
Yeah.
So we're just on break, guys.
Yep.
We're going to bring the gun.
I see you, baby. Get your shine on. Get your glow up. One time for the babies on the south side, the east side, the west side, the north side, Chi-town. Hey, oh. There's a song in your song. It can flow from short to long. In your song, you are the story. Getting past your past, struggling with your past. It'll pass. It'll pass. Hey there, over there, you're torn from where and there. It'll bear. You get there. I know what I know. I suffered more than you know. Yet I can grow. In the cold, in the cold. There's always something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you beautiful, it makes you. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. There's always something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you you. Yeah, yeah. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. Find it in the afterglow. Glows from the bellows of your soul. And you know it's what you put here for. And it's clear, so clear, the reasons why you're here. It appears you can change the atmosphere. There's something incredible within the meeting of the minds. Like, if you were been kind, spare our brother a dime. He can take a red line to 100 lifetimes. And you wouldn't mind it because God had already prepared for you a place to be ageless, where you can brush your face with lilies and sing songs of the cure. There's always something inside. There's always something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you beautiful. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. There's always something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you you. Yeah. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. Finally the afterglow. The glow of love is in you, now shine like the stars do. It's in the cards for you, you can go beyond the deep blue. No bars are set in the conquest. Illuminate the sky in scarlet hues if you believe you are the truest. If you are Savior or Judas, your heart will speak what your truth is. Now let the chatter be the catalyst, let it fuel the music. Don't adjust your volume, say it loud and let them hear you, then smudge the residue. And whatever you did, you can undo. Black gold is attainable. History is unchangeable. But until time runs out, the future is changeable. Bring forth the balm and let the healing heal on. Time moves today.
Show here on Intellectual Radio. It's your girl CEO Lexi, and I'm going to pass this on over to Shar Unlocked. We have a great guest visiting us today.
Yes, we do. We have Alicia Empowers in the building.
Yes. Thanks for
Happy
having
Saturday,
me.
Alicia.
Yes, same to you guys. Thanks.
Alicia's going to talk to us about the importance of credit advocacy and financial goals, your financial goals. She's a Chicago resident. She was born and raised. She grew up not aware of what ownership means. That's the reason why she started the business she's in. And in school, she said she discussed sex education, was never taught financial literacy and what credit information and financial literacy meant. So this brings us today to what you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, again, thanks for having me. It's definitely a pleasure to be sitting in a room amongst some amazing women. You guys look beautiful today.
Oh, you're awfully sweet. Did you guys see the flowers out there? Alicia brought me flowers.
Yes, you gotta
Super sweet.
give flowers while you can
Oh,
smell
I
them.
love it.
Okay.
That was.
Yes. So, a little bit about me. I actually lost my mom to domestic violence back in 2009. So I was a young adult, not really sure about what life was going to bring. And then, it was just like, okay, now I have to learn how to survive, how to thrive in this world.
Jesus.
But I did not know about credit. I didn't know that I needed a credit score and all of those things that is required to live. And
Wow.
we don't realize how much important credit is until you need it, right? And so my first, thing that happened was, I found out that I had a light bill in my name. And a lot of people can relate to that. That's the old school way. When lights got cut off, that unfortunately that was something that people would do. They like, okay, you next.
Oh gosh.
So that happened, and I actually realized that this is now the time. And then when I started to talk about credit to some of my peers, they had no information. So I saw this opportunity, partnered up with the Go Getters. We're a movement in Chicago. We actually just opened up our first headquarters, so we'll be having our grand opening soon.
Where's the headquarters located?
It is on the west side.
Okay.
For all you West Siders.
Well, I'll visit you. I work on the west side, so I'll visit you. Oh, gosh.
So that's another city out west,
Girl,
Illinois.
no,
Okay.
let me tell you, it's another city. It's probably called IRS.com.
But yes, we will be launching and having a opening soon. But we're a movement, and we are God first movement at that. So we believe in putting God first. That no matter what, like without anything, like we got to give God the glory. And so, like I said, partner with the company, and I realized that there was a lot more people that could benefit from the services that we offer. And so we started the movement, and we've been making a huge impact in the community, and just want to spread, more awareness, not just about financial literacy, but about ownership.
Absolutely.
Right.
Can you walk us through the process of evaluating a client's credit report?
Yes. So generally, we schedule a complimentary consultation, kind of have a 15-minute conversation about their goals and where they're trying to go, if they're trying to purchase, how soon, because that's very important. And then from there, if we do have access to their report, if they can, share with this the report, like what's on there, any negative items, and basically we kind of explain to them our process and how we can help them. And so what that looks like is going through enrollment. There is a fee associated with that, but again, it's going to be based on what they have on their credit and the expectation of how long it's going to take to restore it.
So I know it varies from person to person.
Mhm.
What's an average time with someone with C minus paper credit?
Mhm.
What's an average time that they can look forward to in order to see progress?
Absolutely. That's a great question because most times people are looking last minute for
Unrealistic.
service.
Yes.
So I always share that at minimum 6 months. 6 months to a year is kind of like that wide range that even if it happens in 3 or 4 months, if it happens in 5, at least that minimum of expectation that don't call me at 3 months, like, hey, what happened? I thought I was going to be at a 750 by tomorrow. Like, no.
So why 6 months?
Because one, that's just the bare minimum, but it depends on where they are. So sometimes they may just need a little help, need some additional trade lines, or maybe they, got denied because they had too many inquiries. So
Another question. So you do offer trade lines.
yes.
Okay, that's really good for everyone to know. Even if you do not have adverse credit or low credit scores, everyone can benefit from trade lines unless you are, a 800 plus. The trade lines can help you get there. So you need to reach out to her.
Absolutely.
I have another question.
Mhm.
What separates your company from others?
Okay, great question. Well, the one main thing is if you look on the Better Business Bureau, you'll find that we are A+ rated. So we didn't purchase that. That was given to us based on surveys from our current clients. So that's definitely number one. And we are, again, a God first movement. So I believe that even my own connection was if you are a person that not only we like you, but we trust you. So
We
you
talk
dealing
about
with
that here a
money.
lot.
Yeah, like people have to do business with those they know, like, and trust. But the trust is the key factor. There are a lot of scams out here. And
Absolutely.
so do your research.
Another question. How do you educate your clients about maintaining good credit after their repair process is complete so they do not go and repeat history?
Yes. Well, that's the great part about it. And again, that is one of the biggest reasons why I hopped on this opportunity is because of the education. Because we want you to be a client once, not repeatedly. And so you get your own portal, your own back office where you can actually see where you are, what's impacting your credit. You get to see the monitoring, status as far as like where you are, what your grade is. And not only that, the information. So it's going to tell you like, okay, your credit is impacted because of your utilization. So it's going to tell you what you can do to maintain that. So if you have a credit card, it's going to tell you that you utilize that card and to keep it at that certain minimum.
So before we jump into another question,
Mhm.
I want you to share your contact information because I'm looking at live from across the table and they're asking about contact information in regards to trade lines. So you want to go ahead and give that to them?
Absolutely. Again, my name is Alicia Empowers. That is Alicia Alicia Empowers EMPOWERS. That is my name on all platforms, even TikTok if we stay alive. But that is my information. You can also give me a call at 708-510-8351. That is my direct number. 708-510-8351.
And if you guys have any questions in regards to the trade lines or any questions for Alicia Empowers as far as credit is concerned, you can give us a call at 708-223-8953. So I have one last question for you. What do you recommend to those looking to buy a home or car during the tax season? And my co-host, that one's for her.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, the one main thing is know before you go. I wouldn't advise to apply until you know that for sure you don't have any negative items on your credit, that you have, your bank statements is, looking like what it needs to be. Even if you've had that call with your mortgage lender or realtor, they're going to tell you what you need. But know before you go, know where your score is, know what the expectations are. And my advice, definitely, if you're trying to purchase a home, don't go buy the Maybach before you purchase. Don't make any large purchases. And again, even when it comes to any negative items on your credit, if you have collections on your report, don't pay those collection reports because the collections are sold debt. That debt has been sold and it's been sent to a third party agency, and they're just trying to get their money. So if you pay it, if someone told you go ahead and pay those collections, make sure that you get a letter stating that it has been paid as agreed. Okay. A lot of times you're paying, and they don't actually update the report. So now you're just dishing out money. So if you want to do that, I can send you my Zelle information, all of that. But no, seriously, give me a call if you just got questions. It is a free consultation.
And also, I recommend you meeting with an expert before paying that debt, because sometimes it's been there for so long, it no longer impacts your score. You go and pay it, and you start the clock all over again. And there goes the impact. Reach out to a credit expert. Come on, guys.
Yes, yes.
And then shouldn't you ask them to remove it completely from your credit report versus them saying paid as agreed or of something of that nature? So you have to have that conversation with them, and then you get that in writing.
Exactly.
You can,
But
but paying it starts your clock.
Now, what do you mean paying it starts your clock?
So you had a debt that's been sitting there for 3 years. It's really no longer impacting your credit score. Absolutely has no impact whatsoever at this point. It's sitting there. It's dead weight. It's just sitting there. You go and pay it. You start the clock all over again.
Now, when you say you start the clock, what does that mean?
You've now invited them into your home again.
right.
Well, if you, this is my question. If you have it as paid as agreed, and then you have them remove it from your credit report, how does that start?
But they bought the debt. So
Right.
that's a whole nother story. It's not their debt.
Right.
They bought the debt.
The object of the game, though, what I'm saying is that for them to get that off of remove it from your credit report. I've repaired
right.
my credit. I've had my credit built by credit builders. I know you're probably familiar with credit builders back in the days with Vince and Lisa Galvin. And I paid off some of my stuff on my credit, and they did tell me that I should not have paid it. I should have disputed it beforehand, but I did get those creditors to remove those items from my credit report. So my question is, when you say that it recycles, is it only recycling if you don't remove it from your credit? If they don't remove it, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes. If they give you a letter that says, "Hey, I'm never going to hear from you again. You're no longer. We won't report it ever again."
That's what I'm talking about.
And that language would probably have to be reviewed, because certain language, if you use "and" instead of "is," which means that they can revisit it later. I just had that with a client.
Okay.
So
I got the stuff off of mine though.
well,
the stuff that
credit back in the day was
that's
Right.
what I'm.
It was
Exactly.
easy.
It was easy.
And,
That's what I was saying. It
and-
was easy back then. I mean, it was
very easy. Yeah.
And just to add to that, not to interrupt, but right now the Experian and now TransUnion has just been sued because of their process. So this is now a great time to dispute those items,
Yes.
but they have to already have been in the dispute process so you can file your claim. So when you do file your
That's good
complaint,
information.
make sure that your dispute letters were sent via mail and you sent in your information, and then you go to the CFPB and file your complaint. and those are ways to leverage that system.
Okay.
That's
I got
some
a
great
question.
information.
Sure.
Lexi has a question.
So I know you spoke on not learning about credit in high school.
Mhm.
Do you have any plans or any programs in place going into high schools, or like any seminars or anything speaking to the teenagers and the youth about credit?
Absolutely. So I actually do partner with Chicago Public School Systems and teach financial literacy. We set up workshops. We talk about starting a business, budgeting, savings, but definitely about credit. So those are some one-on-one partnerships that we're doing. But we also even go to the churches. So we have a partnership where we can partner with churches, because we have to go where the people are. Right.
Absolutely.
And so it starts at home. So if we can reach the houses and we can reach the kids, then now we can have a better understanding about where we are and how we can, take back what was owed to us, which is buying a block, buying a community, and getting the access that we need.
Without credit or cash, you don't have nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly.
That's just the
An
truth.
opinion.
Okay.
Well, that's great. And also, to let all our listeners know, all of Alicia Empowers information will also be on our YouTube. You can go to YouTube and search Intellectual Radio. And when you search for this particular episode, all her contact information will also be listed there as well.
And we'll post it on our page too, the Super Business Women Show. We'll post it on the page. What do you want to leave with the viewers? Tell the viewers.
Like I said, know before you go. If you are desiring to become a homeowner, you want to buy a new vehicle, I have partnerships with dealerships as well. Definitely give me a call. Let's have a conversation. You can also add your rent as a trade line, since we were talking about trade lines. So
Absolutely.
boost your credit by utilizing the things that you already have, and rent being one of your largest bills. You want to get credit for that. So give me a call. Again, I am on all social medias, Alicia Empowers. I believe Instagram is _ Alicia Empowers. But give me a call, 708-510-8351. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
So
Thank you,
Alicia,
Alicia.
just to recap, guys, Alicia can help you with trade lines if you have good credit
Yes.
or if you have bad credit. So that benefits both. She has partnerships with dealerships. You probably should get a home first. Contact Crystal Eye first. She has, what else do you have? You have partnerships with who else?
Like I said, we partner with churches. We have organizations that do sponsorships. So it's a list of partnerships, but the main thing is just scheduling that call. It's a free complimentary call to find out where you are and where you're trying to go.
It's 2025. Put the
Come
pride
on.
aside, put the Prada aside, put the
Yes.
Versace aside, and let's get serious about it. We can own. You don't have to even have great credit. All I need her to do is get you to 580
Yes.
for home ownership.
Yes.
That's not a lot to ask, guys. Give her a call.
You have
And
a
I
website
like to say
don't
this
you?
too.
Yes.
People break their. One of the things that we have to do is pay our rent, especially if we're renting.
Absolutely.
And you
Oh,
break
yes.
your neck. Most people, I mean, to each his own, but most people break their neck to pay their rent on time.
Some tenants.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
right. Yeah, that's what I said,
Okay.
to each his own.
Okay.
But if you are going through all of those changes to come up with that money, to pay that lump sum of money to an entity, you should have it reporting on your credit. You should
Absolutely.
receive the points for that. That should have been in place.
So to be petty, the ones that don't pay on time, always have them contact me about rent verifications for the monthly payments every month. It's
Wow.
astonishing.
Yes.
That don't make no sense.
At all. Yeah. Oh, I deal with that all the time. And I also do property management. So I
You
get it.
understand.
It's terrible. But yes, pay your bills on time, guys. That's it. Like, that's how you build your credit. Pay your bills on time. If you fall short, call the credit card companies. Let them know. They have plans in place for you for hard times.
That's true.
Alicia, give them an example of what a trade line, because I'm a big fan of trade lines, especially when you're trying to get to where you're going a little
right.
faster
Yes,
than traditionally you would.
absolutely.
Give them, like, because people may say trade lines, oh, I can't afford that. That's too much.
Mhm.
Give me
Absolutely.
something, an example.
Absolutely. So, say for instance, you have 3 accounts, and those accounts only hold maybe 7 years of credit history. Well, your credit is really the bulk is, the longevity of it. And so not only just how long you've had the credit, how much of the credit is available, right? So you can have credit and it could be a credit card that has 10,000, but if you max it out at almost 8,000, then it's not really good credit because you're
Utilization.
borrowing, right? But if you add a trade line, you can pay. I can. If the price varies based on the history.
What does it start?
And so $300 and really, I mean, the minimum I've probably seen maybe
So,
$250.
guys, if a lot of student loans were forgiven last year, woo woo, thank God, right? Gratitude. However, those were the longest trade histories we've had. They're 15, 20, 10 years old. They're gone. They're paid off. They're no longer reflecting on the credit.
Yes.
You absolutely, positively need longevity in trade lines. It helps with the credit score.
Yes.
Caller.
Yep. And even that, like, I'm glad you just said that, because now it brings me to when a person pays down their car note, right? Once that car is paid off, it is no longer revolving. It is no longer reporting on your credit. So
Don't I know?
people call and they're like, oh my God, my score just dropped. And oh, what did you do? Oh, well, all I did was pay my car off. Okay, well, there you go. So, it's there, but it doesn't hold as much weight as it would if you were making payments.
I have a question. Okay,
Mhm.
although it doesn't hold as much weight, isn't it best to keep that good credit sitting on your credit report?
Oh, absolutely. As long as
For
it's
as long
paid
as you
off.
can. I mean, but after a while, it stops. Like just like
Just
the
like-
negative, it
Mhm.
stops holding any weight after a while.
So would
Exactly.
you suggest getting that removed from your credit once it stops?
It's gonna
holding the weight?
it's gonna purge off.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna stop reporting.
Oh, okay.
My
Well, not reporting. I'm not speaking in terms of reporting. I'm speaking in terms of
It's-
sitting on
but
your credit.
yeah, it's gonna dissolve itself after
Really?
7 years. It's gonna go. It's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
go
Now,
bye bye.
that's something I didn't know. That's
Yeah.
good.
I'm having that same issue right now. I went to
Okay.
buy a car. I paid my car a few years ago, and they're like, yeah, you don't have like a car payment. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
that
That's paid
$1,300
off.
gone bye
Done.
bye.
Right. Okay.
No,
All right. I didn't know that it,
Yeah.
it leaves your
Mhm.
credit.
Yeah.
it leaves.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's
After a while.
great. I mean,
It sits there for a period, but then it leaves.
Right.
Just like the student loans. The student loans are going to show zero, and they're no longer revolving.
And that's the
Exactly.
reason why it's so important to go to an expert, because an expert knows those little things that you might not know.
Yes.
And even when you think you know, because I would think I know, but even when you think you know, you're going to know more. You're going to
Yeah.
learn more from experts.
Yeah.
So that's
and,
great
and that's the
information.
impact that we want, because sometimes it's unlearning the things that you were taught.
For sure. Yeah, when I became a
Right.
realtor, because I used to deal with people outside doing, helping them find buyers for their properties. And I really thought I knew so much. And then when I got my license, I'm like,
You're like, thank God.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know half of the stuff that you think you know.
Right.
Mhm.
And you still have a lot more information to learn, because stuff is always changing. Stuff is
Absolutely.
always reporting and doing different things. Thank you, Alicia
Yes,
Empowers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Empowers.
Thank you for
today.
coming, Alicia.
Thank you, guys.
That brings us to a break. What song are we going to play during the break? Lexi.
I'm not sure, but I do want to thank Alicia Empowers for stopping by and empowering our listeners. We definitely appreciate you. And could you just give your contact information one more time for our listeners?
Absolutely. Again, thank you guys for having me. I go by the name of Alicia Empowers. I am Alicia Empowers with an E on all platforms. And my phone number is 708-510-8351. Please don't call me after 10 o'clock.
I know.
Because they will. They'll wake up at 3 a.m. like, yeah,
I'm ready.
Time to fix my credit.
I'm on my way to work. Let me give her a call.
Right.
Right. Before I forget.
Okay.
We do want to thank you for tuning into the Super Businesswomen Show. We are going to take a quick music break and we'll be back. Thanks for tuning. Stay listening because we have another guest coming up. The Super Businesswomen Show on Intellectual Radio.
I'm excited about that.
Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Do you think of me since I'm so far? Would you even speak to me if I should call? Sometimes it's hard to sleep. Staring at the stars when I dream, I blink, and damn, there you are. Do you think of me and wish we could have worked things out one way or another? At least we should have stayed friends. Now so much lovers. Do you think of me? We love to hug and kiss. We love to rub. That love is what I miss. Do you think of me or how I could be more than just another casualty you need? Do you think of me? Do you still see me as a queen out here doing my thing? Do you think of me and say it's an act of God's timing so I can pursue rhyming? I love you, but that love had me blinded. Face fine, but what hides behind it? Do you think of me and all them lonely nights I'm crying? Do you think of me without even trying? Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Either way, I see a brighter day. By the way, do you think of me when the radio plays all my jams, heavy rotation? And again, do you think of me when you see me in the magazines? Do you think of me and what you could have had with me? Do you think of me? Of course you do. None bad as me. Do you think of me? Mic checking, say prepping. Do you think of me and realize you're the reason I'm stressing? Do you think of me? Rewind me again. Learn a lesson. Do you think of me now that I'm running the league? You guessed it. When it comes to this ink pen, some call it gifted. I call it all the above. I've been blessed from the beginning. Do you think of me? Does it hurt to see I'm forever winning? Do you think of me? Got back all the peace toxic love ever costed me. Honestly, it's sad to see you never really rock with me. Love is dead. Rest in peace. Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and want to apologize for your wrongs? Do you think of me and realize after all this long? Do you think of me? Now it's gone, now it's gone. Now it's gone, now it's gone. Do you? Do ya?
Hello, and welcome back to the Super Businesswoman Show here on Intellectual Radio. It's your girl, CEO Lexi, and we are here. We have a guest coming up soon. In the meantime, between time, Crystal, you got anything for us? I don't want to put you on blast. If you look,
that's okay.
Crystal's mic is down the street. Don't mind her.
Round the corner.
So what I have for you is I have Victor Mason, and he is a guest of mine from Atlanta, and he teaches the freight broking business. He is very well established in it. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars involved in it. When I was speaking with him about the business, I was like so taken by the information that he was giving that I said that this is something that I thought that the audience needed to know about. Once again, I'm thinking I know so much about something because as an entrepreneur, oftentimes you try to dip into different businesses, especially when people are bringing so many businesses to you. So I thought I knew so much, but then when I was speaking with him, it was so much information. I said, you got to let the people know. So he should be calling in soon to speak with everyone about everything. And as far as real estate is concerned, I'll just touch on that for a few minutes. For me,
quick question
Okay.
for you, for Victor.
okay.
Where is his classes taught? How much are they? And how soon can we get people in?
Well, his classes are taught online, I would assume, because he lives in Atlanta.
Okay, well, always a quick flight to Atlanta.
You can't go wrong going at ATL. So I'm sure that he teaches his classes online as far as that's concerned. When the next class can enroll, I'm sure that he'll definitely make sure that everyone is aware of when they can enroll in the next class. I liked it so much because it was so uplifting and upbringing, for people of color. Because a lot of times we seem to feel stuck in situations. There he is right there.
There he is.
The
Listeners,
drop off of
get
the
y'all
conversation
questions
is
ready.
crazy.
Get
The
y'all questions
anticipation.
ready, people. This is education at its best.
The
Absolutely.
anticipation.
Hi, Victor.
Hello.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Awesome. We are all sitting here. Unfortunately, we couldn't get you on
In person.
in person. That's number one, let alone live on social media. But I'm hoping and praying that all of our listeners can hear you on social media, on Instagram speaking, as well as our outside listeners that are tuning in to Intellectual Radio. When I was speaking with the ladies and the audience, I was just letting them know. I said, when I spoke with him on the phone, you just had so much information to give about, uplifting people of color, that I felt that it was something that, people needed to know about. And you're not stuck in, you don't have to be there to do it. A lot of times people don't realize how virtual, making money is. So I want you to just take it from here and just let everybody know, what's going on, Victor. We love it.
Welcome, Victor.
Yeah, no. Hey, I appreciate you all having me on, and I'm definitely a fan of what you all are doing, and I'm a big supporter, so I definitely appreciate it.
Hey, Maze.
Yeah. So my name is Victor Mason. I am transportation executive, transportation professional, whatever you want to call it. Experienced freight broker, and I've been doing this for probably about 10 years. And just to give you a little bit of background on what I do and what my actual profession is, it's in transportation, right? And so, essentially when you see these trucks on the road and then you see these warehouses, there's somebody who's working with the warehouse, and then there's somebody who is dispatching the trucks or who is working with the truckers. So that's me in the middle, in a nutshell, right? A little bit about my background is, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I actually got into the industry off of off of a colleague or off of a friend who taught me how to do the job, right? And he said that, he's like, hey, I know a job that you'll be very good at. And he says, this is freight broker. And I said, well, what's that? And so he just happens to be pretty high up in one of the, in a transportation or in a recycling company. So he's my first customer, learned how to do it with him. It happened to be import and export, the things that you see, the containers that you see coming from the port. And, and it just, the rest was history. So I was working with him, and I never thought to cheat him or not give him good service because he's one of my close friends. And, and then his customers wanted to work with me. So fast forward, I parlayed that into a career. And, throughout working through my career, there was a lot of things that I realized, including that there was not a lot of inclusion of African Americans in the industry, and that it's a white male dominated industry. And so as an A player in the industry, one of the things and one of the goals that I've had over the last couple of years is mentoring and introducing, people of color and minorities into the industry, because it's something that, that we don't know is available to us, right? So I think that's a big part of it.
Excellent. Excellent. So when is your next class, and how long is the class? How much is the class?
Oh, yeah, I'm happy to go into that. I mean, so I have a couple different options. So I coach live. So what my curriculum is, it is a 7-week curriculum. And I coach twice a week, live on Zoom, Tuesdays at 8:00, so that I can include my West Coast students also. And I literally just go through the A to Z of being a freight broker, including, where to apply, what are the modes of transportation, how to sell to customers, how to find truckers based on the mode, how to set up your book of business, how to prospect. I mean, you name it. I go through it. And so my course is normally $997, but I have a code for all of your listeners. It's Access 25. So anybody who's listening will get 25% off.
What was that code again?
Access 25.
Right, I'm writing it down.
I heard that.
And Victor, one of the things that when we were speaking on the phone I'm sorry. I'm all over here. Victor, one of the things that we were speaking on when we spoke on the phone was the fact that you said that even if you had a background, that you could still do this business. And I found it to be very important because unfortunately, I think a lot of times when people do, get a background, and I mean, listen, life sometimes throws you curves and you end up, in situations that honestly you never thought you would be in. And, for people who get in those situations, a lot of times they feel like they're down and out on their luck and that there's no hopes for them. So one of the things that you mentioned was that, if you have a criminal background, that you could, still get this position. Can you give a little bit of information on that as well? A little bit of detail on that?
Yeah, most definitely, and I think that's a very, very good point. And one of the main reasons why I do what I do, because part of of my upbringing, part of it is understanding that not everybody comes from the same background as I did. I mean, I was fortunate to have educators in my family. I was fortunate to have positive role models, 2 parents, multiple parents, aunts, uncles, everybody to keep me on the straight path. And force me to go to college, right? And force me to go to church and then live and grow up right. And part of my upbringing is realizing that everybody didn't have those examples, and so they didn't have those same options. So I kind of look at it from my position of privilege, where I say, I know that people didn't have the same life circumstances that would afford them the same opportunities as I've had. Right. And so that's part of it, is giving it back. And so, the truth is that this is an industry that does not require that you have a clean record. If you made a mistake, this is a good time to be able to have a new start, because the fact of the matter is when you are booking loads with these shippers and you are working with these shippers and you're calling truckers and you're putting your business together, what you've done in the past is of no relevance whatsoever, because this is an industry where you really can pick between being an entrepreneur and working for a different company. I mean, I've worked with multiple people that have had criminal records, whether it be independently or in a traditional brokerage. But one of the things that I definitely would highlight is that when people get out of prison, right, especially a lot of African Americans, they're seen as incorrigible, right? And the statistics are staggering of you going back and returning to prison within 3 months and 6 months. And my biological father was the same way. Even though I had a great upbringing, my biological father is incarcerated, right? And so I understand the opportunity that's needed, and I understand the plight that a lot of people are living. And so, like I said, so it's like this is an industry that people should jump into, because even if, people have previously been, let's say, trafficking illicit substances, if people apply that same drive and that same hustle that they had for that to freight, they'd be millionaires. They'd be millionaires because it's the same concept, and they can take that same business mind that they have and apply it to something legitimate that's scalable, that would allow them to hire other people in their communities and be able to really achieve great things. And so that's one of the beautiful things about transportation.
Great. So, question for you, Victor: is there some place or some website or maybe your social media platforms? Well, if I wanted to refer someone or kind of get them familiar with what you do, is there some place where they can go and get the wealth of information and, I'm not going to say sell them, but an introduction, into opportunity?
Most definitely, and I definitely respect you saying not sell them, because the truth of the matter is I don't sell people. I just tell people look, this is what I offer. This is what I can do for you. And if you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, you're not. Because ultimately, I don't do this for money. I do this because I love the coach. This is just who I am. I love the coach, and I love freight. I love freight brokering, and it's just who I am. And in my spirit, it's just my spirit. My favorite part of it is taking people from A to Z, where you come in and you're green and you don't know how to do these things. And I give you skills and tools that will allow you to change yours and your family's lives. And, and that's really why I do this. That is my why in all of this coaching. But that being said, on my Instagram, I am Victor Mason. On TikTok, I give a lot of free information out. A lot of the stuff that's in my course, right? You can see some podcast clips where I'm laying everything out. I have a lot of videos where I'm telling you different strategies. What are the differences between modes of transportation? And even if you're into some of the boring technical stuff, I have a lot of commentary on the port strikes and the overall market. But that's not as sexy as like the make $10,000, $20,000 a month. And a lot of it is just me nerding out because I'm a pundit when it comes to maritime transportation. But but I am Victor Mason. And then Freight Broker Business Academy is my website where I have like a free training. I go through what is a freight broker, how does it work, what are the individual modes of transportation, and I also have a few free resources that are available to people. So, I try to make things as accessible as possible. And like I said, I mean, this industry was being gate kept, and I'm kicking the door down, and we're coming now.
I have another question, Victor, real quick. Also,
Sure.
with freight brokering, that
Mhm.
isn't that it's different. You could do cars, you can do transportation, you can do I guess it's all transportation. I keep saying my hair turns blonde sometimes. Oh, like sure. Which ones? So yeah, the Lewis's. So anyway, it's different entities inside of the brokering business that you can do. And also, one of the things about the Good Old Boys Club is that this brokering business, this is also one of the most lucrative businesses that you can do inside of getting the transportations going. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. And, and one of the beautiful parts of it. I'll just take it back a little bit. So what you're referring to and just what you were saying, if there's different verticals, people don't understand as a concept that everything that we consume, everything that we possess is all got here by way of truck. Either it got here by way of truck or it got here by way of plane, right? So if you look at your shirt and it says made in China, made in Indonesia, it got here by ship or it got here by plane. There's no in between. And when it got here, it either went to a warehouse or it went directly to a distribution center for final mile delivery. And so people never really start to ask the question, well, how are all these things getting here? But there have been people that have been asking those questions, and they're the ones who've been making all the money. So they've been making all the money, and the people who are in control are the people that they went to college with, and they're the people that they know, and they go to these conferences that they shake hands with. Because I go to some of these professional conferences and I'm the only minority male there, right? And part of it is being able and having the gift to be able to assimilate. But the other part of it is understanding my place my place in this whole industry. And then, like I said, and then understanding that there are plenty of people that I went to A&T with, that I grew up with, that people that I have come into contact with, that if they were afforded the same opportunity and the same knowledge, that they could do the same thing. And so when people really look at the totality of the supply chain and how transportation actually works, people have to understand that all of your food gets here, right? All of your food gets here by way of truck. All of your clothes get here by way of truck. Everything that we need to survive as human beings gets here by truck. And so instead of just consuming, we really have to ask ourselves, like, what is it that, how can I get involved? Like, how could I be a part of moving these things, right? Whenever there's a natural disaster or whenever there's scarcity in the market, let's say, let's say there was a shortage of blueberries. Whenever there's not a shortage of blueberries, there's a large influx of trucking. And if you don't know the market, you don't know how to take advantage of it, right? And when there's natural disasters, like for instance, there's a big upcoming opportunity with all of the wildfires in California, because all of these acres and all of these places that have been burned down, they're going to be rebuilt. Well, nobody's really asked, well, how is it going to be rebuilt? And so there's going to be an influx of flatbed trucks, of semi-trucks, 53-foot trucks that all are going to be needed to help rebuild these large cities and these large neighborhoods. And so you're looking at in the next couple of months where you're going to see a huge influx in trucking and a need for materials to get out that way, because there's going to be a lot of new construction and a lot of new buildings and everything being rebuilt there. But if you don't know about the market and you don't know those are the things that you need to look for, then you have certain groups of people who are coming in, getting all the contracts, who are taking over, and they're making all the profit. And then in turn, the people that look like us are still stuck at the bottom and still consuming from the things that they have just rebuilt.
Wow, Victor, that was inspirational.
I think if you know better, you do better, right? And,
That's true.
And iron sharpens iron. And I just know that I truly believe in my heart that when people have the right mentorship and people have the right tools, right? Because I believe in individual agency, and I believe that when people are doing things that are illegal, like inherently in our communities, a lot of times they're doing it because they see it as something that is available to them, right? Because there might not be mentorship that will teach you how to be a doctor or to build a business or funding business or different avenues that can legally make you money. But there are people that are right outside your house that are like, look, well, if you sell X, Y, Z, then you can make a lot of money. You can look like me. You can wear this gold chain. You can have a nice car. You can do this. You can do that. You can wear nice clothes, all these designer clothes that you covet so much when you live in an impoverished area. So that's the mentorship that's available. And a lot of times it's free. And it might be a family member. And so that is attractive. And then, you're in this cycle, in this system of chasing that, and you're getting good at the wrong thing, and as a result there are consequences, right? And so my real thing is like, we present things like freight, and we present things like transportation, we present things like funding and other different avenues where people can actually produce positive results, and we put those same programs in front of people. We make it accessible, and then we watch how these communities change. Because if I had somebody that was 18 years old and was fresh out of college and they took freight broker seriously, I legitimately could take somebody from 18 years old and they could study with me for, let's say, a couple months, right? And they took freight broking seriously. In 2 years, they'd be making $100,000 easily, $150,000 easily. And they would have a skill that they would be able to do for the rest of their lives. And it's a skill that's in high demand. And it's a skill that you can get paid to teach. I mean, like, I was running a $100 million freight brokerage, right? I built a import and export division from $0 to $20 million in revenue. I mean, $4 million in profit, right? And, those are things that are on my resume, but I didn't go to school for that. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't have a me to be mentored. I just happened to have friends who I went to college with, and their dad was the CEO of the company, and he had the opportunity to give it to me, and he just taught me how to do the job. And then I just kind of ran with it from there. But I know that a lot of people, if they had that same opportunity, that, they would do the same thing, right? I told you there's a legal path for you to be able to make 6 figures and be able to take care of your family and do all the things that you want to do. Who wouldn't do it, right? Because people aren't lazy. People aren't stupid. It's just more so that people don't have the opportunity, and the opportunity is not articulated to them and made simple enough and accessible enough for them to be able to take advantage and transform their lives.
Well, that's awesome, because what you're doing is definitely transforming lives, and the information that you gave was absolutely phenomenal. Do any of the other beautiful ladies sitting here have any questions to ask Victor?
Victor,
not everybody at once now.
Victor, when is your next class? Your online class begin?
Oh, so I do it year round, every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Zoom. I do it live every Tuesday and Wednesday. In fact, what I'll do for you all, if you all want to jump in on the class, I'll send Crystal the link, and then that way y'all can jump in and kind of see how it goes.
Oh, perfect. So we can pick up any Tuesday or Wednesday. It's not like a start date. You know how colleges or programs sometimes have a start date.
Yeah, so in the online curriculum is 7 modules. So I kind of have it structured so that you're not overwhelmed with all the information, and you can kind of take it bit by bit. Because if you try to eat this whole turkey, you're going to choke, right? But if you just eat bit by bit, then you'll be able to eat the whole turkey and you'll be able to prosper. So that's kind of my motto. So I designed it to be palatable for the person who says, look, I'm not about to do this for 4 hours. I work 8 to 5. I work 9 to 5. Like, I'm not about to sit here for another 4 hours. And I take that into account that not everybody has that, that can do that after they work. So I designed the curriculum so that you only have to spend maybe an hour a day reviewing material, plus so 5 hours a week is really what I ask of people, including the live Zoom. And then in 7 weeks, you have 35, 40 hours of straight studying and freight brokerage experience. And that will allow you to. But to answer your question, so it's structured into 7 modules. And, but however, I do it all year round, and I give general information every single class. And all of the information are things that you could apply and you could learn. So there'll never be a time when you jump in class and you're just like, I didn't get anything out of this.
Perfect. I appreciate that. I'll definitely be there Tuesday. When you
jump on in.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I have another question.
Of course.
What's the population of women in that industry?
That's a very good question. Women are also super, super, super underrepresented in the industry. And like I said, it's a white male dominated industry. So, so like I said, the majority of the people that you're going to see, 85% white males, right? And then you probably will see, I would always probably say you see the same, more women than you see, than you see African Americans. But it's neck and neck. You don't see a lot of women in the industry. And when they do see women in the industry, I feel like that they have to work harder to prove themselves in the same space, right? And, and you get I see a lot of things, and I'm very intentional to never treat people this way, but you see a lot of things where, it's like in the business world anyway, where it's a lot of, well, oh, aren't you so cute and that sort of thing. And it's like, this woman is formidable. She knows the same things that you do, if not more. Like, why are you, why are you being condescending to this woman? And so you don't see a lot of women in the industry, but that's a great question. But women definitely can thrive in this industry. So girl power for sure.
Hey, I work in a male dominated industry, and I think we'll be able to handle ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I don't like is that when a woman is assertive, then is assertive in the office place, then, she has an attitude problem. If she speaks up about things that she didn't like, then, she has an attitude that she's mean and she's not cooperative. Whereas in the same scenario, the man can talk to his team however he wants to, however he sees fit. And they're like, that's a good leader. And it's a double standard, right? It's a double standard. And I don't think that it's a fair double standard. I mean, life's not fair, but I don't think that it's a fair nor an appropriate double standard. And I think that is something that people can control. So I definitely think that women should try to get in the industry, because ultimately, when you're a freight broker, it's not like you're out here driving trucks. I'm not driving trucks. I'm not handling freight. I'm not doing anything other than sitting on my laptop and hanging out with the dog all day.
So you're doing it.
And that's,
I'm sorry.
Oh, most definitely.
So it's more administrative.
Well, it's not that it's administrative. It's just that it's just not labor intensive. You're not doing physical labor. Like, I'm still on the phone communicating with my customers. I'm still using computer applications to dispatch the trucks and update the loads and communicate with other people in my company. But it's not so much that you're going to have to do anything too crazy. All of these things can be done. And that's another important detail that I probably didn't mention. All these things that I'm telling you about, you can be done in your living room. All you need is a laptop and the internet, and the rest of the stuff is just online. The load boards are online. The customers are online. I do customer visits, but those are few and far between. I can go and see them when I need to, but the majority, 95% of my communication with them is over the phone, through email.
Well, I am excited, Victor. As soon as you send Crystal that link, we're there. But I want other people to be there. So I need you to share your contact information, your social media platforms, your website, your email, whatever you have for the viewers. I need you to share it.
Yeah, 100%. So like I said, I am on Instagram. I am Victor Mason. I post every single day. All of my content, there's no profanity, there's nothing inappropriate. It is all giving just straight value. A lot of it is just me talking about the market, talking about different benefits of freight brokering. There's a lot of different carousels. There's a lot of content for you to be able to consume. And the same thing on YouTube. I am Victor Mason. I have some short form and long form content where you can kind of listen to me speak about the industry. Like I said, I've been since maybe about July or August. I post a video every single day. I do questions and answers. I do all different types of videos. I do reels. And if you DM me, I'll tell you whatever it is that you want to know. I won't keep any information. Like, if you want to know an answer to something, you can just ask me the question and I'll tell you. Like, you don't have to pay me money for that.
Blessings. That's
Yes.
actually a blessing.
It is.
That is a blessing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, like this. I had it was interesting. I had somebody that at one of my posts that were kind of going viral on TikTok, couple thousand, maybe 50,000, 55,000 views, where I was talking about that you don't have to own a truck in order to be able to prosper in the transportation industry. And the person comes on the post and says, "Hey, I've been a freight broker for 2 months. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if I want to pay for your course. However, I'm willing to pay you for your time." And I told him, I said, "Look, I'll tell you what, you book a call with me on Zoom and you don't have to pay anything, and I'll go through whatever you want to go through." And that's not an issue, because it's just in my spirit, and when your intentions are pure, and when you have the type of spirit and energy that I do, and really in the gifts that I've been God gifted with, the gift to be able to speak and think and be able to adapt and apply my trade, I think it's only right to be able to lend a helping hand to anybody that needs it. And, like I said, while I do want to get a lot more minorities into the industry, I'm willing to help anybody that wants to be helped and is willing to put in that effort. I'm willing to help you. And the harder that you work me, the more you can get out of it. Because I live for that.
That is absolutely phenomenal, but that goes to being intentional, vibrating high, and that would explain why you're prospering.
Good energy.
Yeah.
So
Look, God doesn't play by their children now.
that part.
That's right.
So we're grateful for you calling in, for the information you did share.
Yeah.
We plan on sharing it on our platform, so you can find Victor's Mason's information on the Super Business Women Show on YouTube. You can go to Intellectual Radio and then go to Super Business Women Show. We'll have information there. We'll have information on our page, the Super Women Business Show on Instagram and Facebook. We do appreciate you calling in. We thank you for the wealth of information, for the great energy.
Most definitely. And I'll make sure that I keep tuning in, and I would love to talk to you all again. Most definitely, because I love your energy and I love the work that y'all putting in. So, however I can support you, whatever that looks like, I'm more than happy to do that, because I do believe that you all are on your way up.
Thank you so much.
We receive
Thank
that.
you, Victor.
Yes, we do receive it. And thank you so much again, Victor, for calling in, for giving out that detailed information for people who definitely need to know that this business is out there, that this business is being gate kept, and that there's really nothing that can hold you back other than yourself. Because when someone described when they describe www to me as the World Wide Web, you're untouchable when you get that perspective. So there's nothing you can't do. So thank you so much for your time. We're going to get into the other part of our show, and God bless you.
Most definitely. I hope you ladies have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Crystal, I'll text you all the details and everything, and I'll get you it on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you so much.
Be blessed. We'll see you Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, bye.
And I do want to let our listeners know his website, Victor Mason's website, is www.freightbrokerbusinessacademy.com. And he did mention that our listeners can receive 25% off of classes by using the code ACCESS. That's ACCESS Access 25. So go over there to www.freightbrokerbusinessacademy.com and get signed up with those classes. And I definitely thank Victor Mason for calling in and for all that information. And now we're going to get into some more information. Shar's favorite segment. We're going to talk about the IRS with our accounting expert, the financial femme, Ms. Jackson.
Miss Jackson, come on, let's get this over with.
You
girl.
know, Shar, I was in a very, very, very uplifted mood. I was. I don't even need you taking me down that road because you don't like the 3-letter people.
She talks about him every week. Come on, guys.
It's her season right now.
Yeah, it is.
Shavana is busy. I get we get the smallest little texts. We don't even. We'll see
Her
you Saturday,
response is
Shavana.
like, talk to you when I get home. And I think it's already pre-programmed.
It's not. It's really not. I'm not that savvy. So
She doesn't even read. She don't read our text.
I do.
She just respond. Like,
I do read them. So my downtime is between, like right now, between 1 and 3 in the morning. So
girl,
I read them and I respond. I do respond though, don't I?
We're grateful you're productive because that means that you are making the big bucks, and we are very excited and grateful for that. So
gonna
yes,
get a-
y'all
we gonna
keep
need a
her
gift.
busy. Keep her busy this
Additionally-
tax season.
April 16th, she is not allowed to mention certain words.
We're going to talk about accounting and bookkeeping
That's
and
it.
business startups.
That's it.
You know, I've talked about bookkeeping. I've talked about company formation, startup, as you want to call it, whatever word you want to put there. I've talked about that multiple times. As a matter of fact, as Shar pointed out, she gave me a list of topics. What was it, about 2 weeks ago?
To avoid the IRS.
And out of all of those topics, do you know I talked about 89% of those? So how much was she listening to me?
I didn't say you didn't talk about them. I just said I gave you those in lieu of something else, but you incorporated something else into what I gave you.
Shavana, before you get into your segment, I've been
Yes.
seeing something all over the social medias, and I wanted your thoughts and maybe a little bit professional opinion to our listeners. So apparently there's something going on right now where you're not able to file your child on your taxes if the child's other parent is on child support. Have you heard about this? Can you give us anything about it?
Girl, this
has been barbershop talk,
That's
beauty
it.
shop talk,
hood talk.
Let's clear it up.
It is. As a matter of fact, I actually heard someone today say that a gentleman went on TikTok and said it was all a farce.
So I want you
It was-
guys
it
to
was makeup.
source your information on social media.
Right.
The information that I'm seeing, it's highs and lows because I get irritated, upset, and mad when I'm reading something. And then once I source it, my pressure comes back down and I'm like, oh, it was BS.
I didn't see anything credible posted about it. I just seen it constantly shared. And as we know, in the world of social media, negativity and nonsense will get shared faster
I
than
think it's a
than the
good
truth.
idea, though,
Information.
even though it's some.
So I did want to clear it up and
foofle
see, was
fam.
there
That's all-
any?
that's
It's a
kinda good.
horrible idea. Someone gives you, let's give you an example. My child is going to, I paid $96,000 one year for school, for all of them to go to school, right? It was $96,349.13.
Okay, you got
For
that
all
down
of
to
them
a
to go to
science.
school,
They
right?
got that money.
Right. I worked hard that year for
I know
that.
how much mine was too. I ain't
Right.
mad at her.
So if someone's contributing 20% of his income, his net, not his gross, what the hell?
So I think that all of those things should be taken into consideration and evaluated. But you're a mom too of boys, right?
Yeah, but I'm also a mother.
right? But let me say, my boys
The
have
struggle is
children,
real.
right?
Real.
I mean, the struggle is, I should be.
Because think about it. I'm
Bodied
paying
up.
for education. We're paying for after school programs. You're paying for toilet paper every time they open the refrigerator. Every time they want to wash their clothes, when they let the water run for 30 minutes while they're on looking at TikTok and your shower's running. So there's hot water and the gas bill and the water bill. And someone's contributing a marginal minimum of 20% of their net income. And that's relative because it could be $50 a month. Are you kidding me?
So
There's the
I
doctor's
just think it should be.
bills, deductions.
I think it should be all taken into consideration because a lot of people, a lot of men struggle to do their child support. It just every situation is
it's
different,
different.
and every situation should be evaluated. And for me, I have grandchildren by male children, and I do think that that the system is set up too much for women.
So
But
not in Illinois, because
Yeah,
now
Illinois is
Illinois is not
absolutely-
like that anymore.
it's
They changed in
changed.
2016.
It hasn't changed enough. I've dealt with some things with my children and
Well,
the children's mom.
The
And-
child support changed. The custodian.
Well, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, the
part, though.
custodian
Yeah.
part will never change. If you have that's the things that if you
I don't think
if you
that's
have
fair.
children, what you have. So the difference is you call the police, right? They show up. You have children out of wedlock. The
I agree with
mother
that.
is presumed the custodial parent unless a judge rules otherwise.
But if she's not being this is Shavana's segment. So,
Okay.
but if the parent isn't being responsible, it's
Then
just
you got to go to court.
I get it. I understand
Yeah.
that, but it took two to make them. You sign that birth certificate. That person says that you're the parent. You can file. You can be liable for that. Period. I just think, for me personally, my personal opinion is that it's just too much for the woman to do. And I am a woman.
Well, you got to think about it. We really carry the child. We birth the child. We are responsible for the child. We tell the fathers who they are.
well, let me interject
Right?
right there.
But not with me. My kids are. I'm
I'm
a
saying-
24-hour grandma, and a 24. And my kids take care of their children to the best of their ability as young men. And I just see the games that are played, and I just don't think it's fair. I've done a lot that I'm not going to talk about on
Mhm.
here right now. But I just think that the tables just need to be fair. That's it.
I think they are.
And
I
I'm with you on
I think
fairness.
they are.
And I will say, not just for women, but to defend men. I have a brother, and my brother, went through some things with, his children. And when I tell you, my brother, he wasn't a dad, he wasn't a papa. My brother is a father still to this day, and his children, which are my nieces and nephews, are grown. And
Well,
as a parent,
Parenting never stops. It gets
Right.
harder when they get older.
right, and still to this day, I've seen my brother go without buying groceries, paying a bill, or
Well,
just
welcome to motherhood, baby.
getting the necessities to take care of his children by himself.
He's
all-
supposed to. He's a parent.
You're right. So the same, and that's why I said I agree with Crystal. The same rules should apply
It does.
to men and to
It
women.
does.
And so
But-
the farce of it was, for what people didn't understand, is that if you went to court, there's a form that you can be given where every other year the other parent can claim the child.
Well, that
That's the way it
happens.
should be.
That happens only if the judge decides. It's not just an automatic thing. You do know that, right?
Yes, I do know that.
And that
But
happens.
if you want that right,
and it's
you take those steps.
but it's taken in the totality of everything. It's not just taken. It's not just given. It's the totality of the thing. So if you have a mom that's providing health insurance and life insurance and doing all these steps, the judge doesn't necessarily always say, hey, yeah, every other year. It's the totality of the circumstances that they're looking at, the big picture. We're passionate and emotional about how we feel, and they're logical about the total picture.
The judge
Legal.
is. That's
Yes.
why you're sitting in front of a
Yes.
judge, because we're
I
not
get it.
being logical. That's
Exactly.
just fact.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but I mean, you have the same. So what about that father? Like you just mentioned, the mom pay all of the household bills, and the child is there. But what about the father that's donating money and
Donating.
maybe that was the
Donating.
wrong word, but giving money? And when the child calls, and I can speak for this because
Well,
I
see,
was a
listen.
witness to this. Wait a minute. My nieces and nephews called their father. Dad, I need this. Dad, can you do this? Dad, we're going on a field trip. This and
Mhm.
this and that. And like, I was a part of that. Like, we were together. Together we stand divided. We fall as a family. And it's like, sometimes I look at these women out here that say they're mothers, and I'm baffled because I don't think they know the definition of it. It's not going to buy your kids gym shoes and talk about the dad sending you money so you can go get your hair done. It's about providing for the child. And when the mother doesn't do that, that's a problem. But when tax time come, you want to get the earned income credit and the child tax credit.
Now
No,
that's the
I
part
think it
that I
should go
agree with.
to
I
the
agree.
father, especially if the father is taking care of the child
For the
You-
majority of the year.
that part.
Well,
And
you
it's
have to
really
make-
whoever's taking
you
care of
have
the
to
child for
make
the majority of the year.
wise
Grandma too.
decisions when you're procreating.
You know,
You have to pick your partner carefully, because when down the line, me included, because
it's
I got a
gonna-
divorce, down the line,
It's gonna come back at you.
you're gonna eat that. So we got to make wise decisions.
Right,
We
but-
can't go off of emotions, and you can't be out there
We-
just popping.
But the
babies.
reality
No.
of it is that we don't make wise decisions.
no,
And
the
for- and-
reality of it is we think that we got a child, we're gonna get a refund. And I'm serious. I'm so serious. Like, we're laughing.
I have 3 of them, and I don't get a refund.
Well,
right.
I owe.
But
that's because you're a responsible parent. Your
That part.
parenting has been
it's something
phenomenal.
different, and eras have changed, and like I listen to these parents that say, well, this is how much I'm getting in earned income credit, this is how much I'm gonna get. No, look at the fine print, because the words say you can get up to. That doesn't mean you're gonna get that
Well,
amount.
you can't fault them for
No,
you
no, no,
know,
no. My
being overzealous.
my fault.
I
So
think
my
saying that.
question was, so it's kind of unclear. It's unclear because it went way somewhere else. And you guys know I'm a father's rights advocate, and
Yes.
I've assisted multiple fathers
Oh, I didn't know that.
in
Mhm.
paternity cases, and as well as family court cases. So this is actually one of my field of expertise when it comes to family court. So absolutely, you have to have the parenting agreement in place in the best of the best,
Interests of those children.
in the best of the best situations. You alternate years. And
Yes.
that's 2 responsible parents co-parenting correctly and both providing equally for the child that they made for the best interest of the child, which is one of the court's favorite terms. So I just really wanted to kind of put it out there for clarification, because we do see the misinformation being shared, and the
It's preposterous. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
These people need a history lesson. From what I'm reading, they don't know how laws are passed, bills are passed, things are signed. Congress, they forget
that
about the
makes
House.
a difference.
They
Yes,
forget
it
about
does,
they
'cause
forget
it
That
has
makes
to go
all the
through-
difference.
they forget about the Senate. They forget about the House.
It
You know,
has
they
to
fi-
go through so many channels, and people just don't do. And Lexi, I think we talked about this a week or so ago, that people just don't do the research that they need to do. You hear something, you're
you
sitting
run
at the
with it.
table, and JoJo come tell you this, and now all of that then got spread it around. It's on all the social media platforms,
And we've shared it a
everything-
million times. We've shared negative, erroneous information,
right? And
a
haven't
million
shared
times.
the truth.
and the kicker is that they took a part of something instead of the whole entire article. They took a piece of it, and it's actually nothing new. It's actually nothing new at all. If you have majority parenting time, if you are paying child support payments,
Well,
if you are taking
my
care of the
advice-
child,
my
you
ad-
should be alternating years
You
as
should.
far as
That's
claiming
what
the
I'm saying.
child.
That's
should.
what I'm.
And
my
That's what
advice-
mine
really
is
what it
fair.
comes down
My
to.
advice would be, before you have any children, you probably need to be married. That gives you a certain level of rights that you don't even have to fight for automatically. I'm
Agreed.
serious.
No,
You're
I
right.
agree 1,000%.
And 2, when you go to court, when you're married, the child you pay for a child attorney. He gets the child gets an advocate,
A GAL.
a GAL.
Mhm.
Yeah. So are you serious? So it's ways you can do this. We sit back, we moan and complain, we make decisions on the front end that affects us on the back end. We pick these people who we gon' reprocreate.
Well, I want
with.
to say, but I'll say, oh my God.
I feel like we stole Siobhan's segment.
No.
I
This
think
is a
we
good
did
topic.
too.
I
this
want
is
to say this
actually a
though.
I'm
good
sorry,
topic.
Shavana.
No.
I wanna say
This
this
is
real
actually a good topic, because all week for the past couple weeks, and I said I've heard in restaurants, barbershops, beauty salons.
Girl,
This is
You
the
haven't
talk of the
posted
town.
anything about it, so
Thank
I was
God.
wondering
No,
what you were,
I
what
wasn't
your
gonna
thoughts
I-
were.
No,
She's
I wasn't.
responsible.
I'm not responsible.
You are responsible.
I'm not. I'm
You're
not.
You're not a
No,
responsible.
she means you're
individual.
responsible, so
Oh,
you're
I'm-
not
I'm
feeding
That's why
into
you're
it.
not feeding this nonsense. You're
Right,
not feeding
right.
into
No,
it.
I don't go.
She wants
on
to argue with me
social.
about everything.
No, I
You
don't.
see what I mean?
I
People-
don't want to go on social media and they say, well, oh, this is this, and oh, this is this.
You don't want to go through the back.
You don't
and
want to
forth.
mess with your
My
credibility.
my thing is when I first heard it, the first thing I did was went to the IRS website.
So
Show me where it's at, and then then I called the Internal Revenue
So I didn't have
Service.
to do that. I start looking for the bill. It's everything's posted.
But isn't the
everything.
reality of this is that it's really whoever is taking care of that child for that year.
I mean, then that makes
That's
the
the
most,
way
then
it's
it makes the
supposed
most
makes
sense
the most
because
logical sense.
That
Right.
makes the logic, but it's the legality of it all too. So if
And the legality of it all, though, these went, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. One of my grand, all of them, shoot, but
She say all of them.
one of them, I can't decide which one I want to talk about, but the mom is not doing anything for the grant for my grandkids.
so let me tell you what you did. Then you go to court. The baby gets a GAL,
I can't.
and you go through the proper steps.
Right now, that's the thing, though. I have someone to answer to, because I
Right.
respect my children,
Mhm.
because those are their children. So I'm not going to overstep my boundaries and
Gotcha.
just do all that with their
Mhm.
children. But what I was going to say is that a lot of times the younger men, they get tired of going through all of these changes of trying
Yes.
to make this stuff happen,
Yes.
then they
knowing that
don't
these
know.
women are dangling the carrot over their head with these with
Well,
this
you
situation.
remove the carrot, baby. You snatch the carrot by going to court.
Right, but I'm saying they get tired of. I tried to tell my son to do that. Go to court. He went down there. Then it didn't work out. Then it's
Well-
just a process. That what I'm saying is that
And
a
that's
lot
the
of
thing.
them
They
get
don't want to
fed
go
up.
through the
They
process.
don't, which is pretty bad.
At
They don't
minimum,
wanna
it's
go
going to
through.
take at least 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. But
So you can either go through 4 years
With my-
of legal,
But-
with the court
Or if 18 years
assistance,
of
or
nonsense.
you can go through 18
18
years of
years of
nonsense.
right,
nonsense.
and I
And-
agree with you on that. But it's difficult to get young men to get their heads wrapped around it.
Well,
They
we
just want
can't
to say
have it
forget
both.
it.
They have an alternative.
But the women are having it both ways, and
they're
they
not.
need.
They're actually not. They're
Okay.
only having it both ways because they're not being called to the carpet. Called to the carpet means you
Calling
go
them
to
out.
court.
I know we've tried to call them to the carpet, and even I'll give you an example. I'm gonna tell a little bit of my personal business. So we went and I called the Department of Child Protective Services because my grandkids were not in school.
Mhm.
We can't do anything about that because now they can homeschool, blah,
Yes,
blah, blah,
yes,
blah, blah.
that's true.
So then they go over there, they talk to the young lady. She specifically lied to them.
Yeah.
Now, when you lied, if it were me to cut the BS from these women being able to play all these games, the perjury that's against the law to lie.
Yeah, but
to the
they're-
police.
But
You're
I'm-
speaking about a criminal case in a civil case.
Yeah.
And
So-
and
child.
criminal case, they can only do so much when
So-
it comes to civil.
I'm gonna tell you this: you
Come
do
on,
know
Chicago
everybody lies to
finest.
the police.
Oh, I
Come
know.
on,
I'm a lie to the
Chicago.
police.
Wait.
I lie to them.
You
Come
do
on,
know everybody
Chicago.
lies
But
to
what
the police.
I'm saying though is when you blatantly tell a lie and you're caught in it, what I'm saying is that there has to be some type of things that change around so that it's not going
Crystal,
so much
so
against the
let
gun.
me
And
tell
I'm
you.
never going to
Let
change.
me
It's in
tell you
family
about
court.
that.
You can lie to you can lie to everybody standing before that judge. Documentation.
That's really what I was thinking of. when you said that, to be
documentation
honest.
beats everything.
Yes.
It does.
And
Documentation
the-
beats conversation.
And the
That's what I'm
GAL
saying.
would get to the bottom of it. They're going to ask for proof. They're going to get the school records. Once the judge signs an order for all of those things, there's an answer for that. But we live in a very liberal society right now, too. So we can't have it both ways. We live in, everybody wants to give everybody, hold hands and sing la la. And nobody wants any accountability for anything. So that's another problem. too.
I mean, I agree with you and I agree with myself, because I'm still gonna stand on how I feel about how I
No,
feel.
I get
Right.
it.
How I
She
feel
said-
But
is
there's
not
a way to-
necessarily a fact.
There is a way to deal with those type of people, though. You
I-
take those kind of people to court.
I know, and I agree. And if it were up to me, I would grab her by her hair and take her to court with no problem.
Grandparents actually have rights too.
I know, but there's so
So
much
much you
changes
could do.
that I
Yeah.
have to go
It's
through
very
in
limited.
order to do that. And those are my children, my children's children that they care for and take care of. I'm not going to just snatch them away from them like that. But
maybe your children need to say, "Look,
They
we
do.
need to take a stand."
Well,
they
she's
do.
just saying the young men are exhausted.
they're
Young men
tired.
don't
of it.
have.
They're tired of it,
Well,
but they got to fight the fight because it's
that
worth it.
sounds good though.
and when you're
It's
taking
worth it
when
when
you're
you're fighting
taking
the fight.
it is worth it. And when you take that responsibility of signing that birth certificate and saying that that's my child, when you take that responsibility of making sure that that child is eating every day, making sure that that child receives clothes every day, making sure that that child is on the honor roll every day, and you're giving up all the lint that you putting lint in your pockets because you're caring about your children. As a man, in my opinion, you should be able to, when you can show that judge, it shouldn't have to be 4 years. It should be.
Well,
That's just how I
so
feel.
I've seen it from one. I mean, it just all depends. It's the totality of the circumstances.
Right.
But what I'm going to say is there is a remedy to it. And I know that young men don't have the emotional capacity
they can't. They
to fight. They don't. They would
just say forget it.
Well, come on, think about it. Even with people our age that are mature, that are wise, we would rather change partners than look at ourselves and be accountable.
True.
So we got to give them some grace. Most people would rather change partners than do the internal work on themselves.
You're 100% right. They do it every day, all day.
I will be by myself for 500, Alex.
But yeah, but Shavonna, is there? So we're gonna get back to Shavonna.
Back to Shavonna. We didn't hijack Shavonna's topic.
I guess it started because Shar just didn't want to talk about the IRS, so she found. We
were.
No, I'm not upset.
We kind of were. We were talking about
this is a part of the IRS.
Yeah, we were talking about the subject that the nonsense that they're sharing, and it's so much out there. That's just one of the many things that they're sharing that's not true.
It's a lot of information out there, and that's, I want to say that's one of the biggest issues that we have, is that we don't do the proper research. We won't take the time to consult with a professional. We'll go and listen to someone who we think has the same story as us, when in all actuality it's two different situations. It's apples and oranges. You can't compare the two.
Well,
so reach out, and people don't research.
Well, they do. They go on social media. They get their information.
They don't do real research.
You know my thing. They socialize social media and socialization. That's where they get their information from.
And that is not a good. That is not a reputable source. Like, I remember learning in college, you don't look at everything on Wikipedia. You just don't do that. It's certain things that you must do, and what sites to go to and who to visit and what information to look for. This information. So with knowing this information, we stayed away from it because we knew the grades that we were going to get. It's kind of like the same thing right now today. Like, do the research. If you got that much time to sit down and go on social media and read this nonsense, take that same energy and go to these federal and state entity websites and look at this information. Find it out. Reach out to Anointed County. We're here with all this information. Matter of fact, tune into us every Saturday from 3 to 5. Call in 708-223-8953. Every listener out here has our contact information. Put questions in our DM. Put questions on our pages. We're going to answer those questions and get back to you, because us, for super business women, we want you to have the valid information, gems, as I like to see CEO Lexi call it. We want to give you the right information so you don't end up in trouble, so you don't end up with I should have did this. Well, if fifth, we all had a fifth, we'll be drunk.
Well,
people should just do the right thing.
They should. People should actually do the right thing. But how many people do you think are going to do that?
The problem is we lack accountability now, right? We don't want to hold anybody accountable.
I would just say be responsible with social media. If you're going to share something, at least do a little looking into what you're posting and what you're sharing.
Check the source. Yeah. Sometimes when I look at their source, when I click on it and I'm reading and I see the source and it says XYPK7M, I'm like, you guys had to know this wasn't a credible source, right?
Where can I find that at?
And when it comes to tax questions, reach out to tax professionals or go directly to the IRS.gov.
You have to. And I get it. No one wants to call because no one wants to sit on hold. No one wants to get transferred and then get hung up on. No one wants to waste a whole day.
Patience is your virtue.
That part. So with that being said, it was a farce, and that concludes my segment of the show. To my callers, please Call me at area code 312-837-7219. I can be reached on all social media platforms at Anointed Accounting. And please visit my website. Set up that 1 hour free consultation. Free. I'm going to say that again. 60 minutes for free. You can't beat it. www.anointedaccounting.com.
Call her for your 60 minutes of the IRS stuff. This is Sharon Locke, Love, Loans, and Lifestyle. We have a class coming up. It is the third Saturday in February. I just don't have a calendar right now. JBL Training Academy, 844-426-6232. 844-426-6232. You can find us here every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. We have some dynamic guests coming onto the show. So it would be February the 15th. That's the next class. And
hi, everybody. You can always reach out to me and contact me at 312-877-6687. I'm your licensed realtor here in the state of Illinois. I can help you with your properties. So please feel free to give me a call regarding properties, investment properties, whatever type of properties, commercial, whatever you're looking for. I'm here to help. That's about it.
And it's your girl, CEO Lexi. I can be reached on Facebook at Alexis Arce, on all social medias at CEO Lexi Couture, and at www.couturemusicmgmt.com. Did you have something you wanted?
I did. I just wanted to revisit Alicia Empowers information. She's at 708-510-8351. And she's on all social media platforms under Alicia Empowers. And that's with the EEMPOWERS. Call her for the trade lines. You don't have to have bad credit to get trade lines. It actually helps you get to your destination a lot quicker.
And you can also visit her at www.structureyourwealth.com. And all that information will be listed in the caption of our YouTube. And also, I want to let you guys know we definitely appreciate you for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Saturday, 3 to 5. We will have CFM President BJ Levy, as well as founder of 3E Video and Editing Services and Photography too, Ernest Leonard. So again, thank you for tuning into the Super Business Women Show here on Intellectual Radio. We will see you next Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m.
Have an amazing week, guys. There, we'll be back next week.
Do you think of me when you hear love breakup songs? Do you think of me and wanna